Ready?
Yeah.
You look ready.
What is going on, comic fans? And I hope you're ready. It's Sunday night. That means it's time for another episode of At Weeks In, the spoiler-filled look back at this week in comics, movies, shows, reviews, news, all that good stuff. We're going to get into all of it. There's a lot of fun stuff to talk about. We're going to do it right after this. This. you got me doing that. Those that don't know, Paul and myself do the DC Comics Deep Dive over on his channel that airs every Monday. And there's pretty much like running jokes that bleed over from here to there and there to here. And this is definitely one of them.
Right.
Yeah, that's a really fun show. It'll be out tomorrow at 10 a.m. where we deep dive into Absolute Superman #5. And then this week, there's also a very special episode Thursday where Paul can tell you more about it.
Yeah, Thursday at 8:30 over on my channel, we will be doing our deep dive, special primetime live deep dive with the one and only Jeremy Adams, the writer of Green Lantern, co-writer of Green Lantern Corps, writer of Aquaman. He writes Flash Gordon too, but we need to talk to him about that because he's newly DC exclusive, so that may come to an end. So normally they let them do creator-owned stuff, but they don't let them do anything else. But yeah, it will be. See, now that's where it won't be this; it'll be that on my channel.
Yeah, that. Not to be confused. And as a reminder to everybody, get your Heroes Con tickets. It's coming up fast, June 20th to 22nd. It's going to be a blast. I'll be there. We'll be set up with the Comics Curing Cancer booth. Be sure to follow Comics Curing Cancer on Instagram to keep up with everything. The event's going to get here quick. If you're looking to donate or how about the cause, just message the page over there, or just come by the Heroes Con booth at the Comics Curing Cancer booth at Heroes Con. Come say, hey, pick up some cool stuff. Got a lot of cool stuff in the works for that. And if you're not going to Heroes Con just yet, but you are going to C2E2, don't forget Big Time Collectibles is dropping all their stuff, previewing it, teasing it, all that. And if you need anything clean, press, or submitted to grading, Justin's Comics has got you covered. You can find all this stuff, all these links down below, including ABX Comics and Games. If you need to set up a pool list and you don't have a comic shop near you, they got you covered. They are the community's comic shop. That's where I get my books, Comic Viking, Burt Family 54 Comics, Collecting with Durs, Brian LCS. A lot of people here in the community take advantage of them. Even the people that aren't local, they set up a long distance pool box with them, and they do free shipping over orders of $100. So don't miss out on comic books because you don't have a shop. They got you covered. Links are down there. And lastly, don't forget, if you want to support the channel even further, you can always hit that thumbs up, subscribe, or hit the join button. Become a channel member, get the loyalty badges next to your name and the custom emojis. But if you join in the Legion tier, it gets you early access to videos, invites to streams, as well as your name in the Legion loot giveaway. And full disclosure, a lot of times when I do those streams, I just send them out to all channel members. But the Legion loot is exclusively for the Legion tier. And I got a video that's available now for Legion tier members that shows you what's in the upcoming one. No, it's unlisted, right? Maybe I think it's just unlisted right now.
Yeah, I know I haven't gotten it. Usually I get the thing right after you post them. So
might be unlisted right now. It's a little ways out because this week is done. This week is done with content. I'm so excited now that I'm thinking about it, Paul. Super excited.
Yeah.
So I made it available for channel members yesterday, I believe, maybe Friday. But we have the Bryce Comic Pack Battle will air tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Me, you, and DJ recorded that a while back. It's been available for channel members for a while, just keeping with the schedule, got it teed up and everything. So another bonus to being a Legion tier member. You could have watched that days and days ago. But the partnership video with DC Comics where they reached out and had the second opportunity to do a video for them, that is now available for channel members in the Legion tier. I've had this video done. Paul knows, like he knew the second that they emailed me. He knew the second that I finished it. And we've talked about this interesting journey along the way. And there's some details to it and stuff. I'll talk more about it next week after it's released and everything. Nothing bad. None of it is bad. It's just wanting to show everybody what you worked on kind of thing. But it's available for channel members now. It'll be out later this week. It's already set to release. It's good to go. I'm excited to get that out. Very, very excited to get that out.
Nothing bad. It's just the normal stuff that you have to deal with when you work with a corporation a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah. You're just waiting on them. That's all.
Exactly.
You're talking to the contact person who has a talk to a person. I'm like,
Right.
this is crazy. But like it's like 4 different layers of like, it's crazy. I can see how many views the video has from where I sit, even though it's like unlisted and all that stuff. And the video has like over 30 views on it before it ever is released.
Nice. They're playing
Like,
it in the lunchroom at Warner Brothers.
what is happening right now? They definitely watch it. That's for sure. But yeah, it was super exciting to finally get that out. That anyone that watches the channel that saw my 2025 goals, I kept simple goals. Like I wanted to drastically increase my Turok 1 collection, which we'll talk a little bit about that later. Turok is a topic tonight. I wanted to pick up Hulk 3 at Heroes Con, and when Heroes Con get here, I've added a Del 4 color 596. Like it's one that I've held, I've picked up, I put back. I need to pick up a copy of the first appearance of Turok proper this year. It just needs to happen. It needs to happen.
And that's in the Del 4 cover? 4 color?
Yeah, Del 4 color 596 is the first appearance of Turok. And then I mean that's the official title of the book,
Right.
And then I wanted to potentially get another cool opportunity like I had at the end of last year to do the partnership video with DC. And it wasn't like it was like 3 weeks after that video was made at most that they reached out to me. So it was really cool opportunity. Super cool opportunity. Kids are in there just banging on stuff. I'm going to say hey to the people in the chat real quick, and we're going to get rock and roll. There's some really cool stuff to talk about tonight. We got Pops up in the building. Let's go. He's throwing those custom emojis. You get access to those through joining the channel membership. We got J Med in the building. Just had to drop in and say that Superman cover is awesome. Hashtag We Are Legion. Yeah, it really is. It's funny because in the deep dive, it's a stop and a track moment toward the end of the video where like I think we get to the end and close the book and we're like, God dang, it's just a good cover too.
Yeah.
Like what an issue. The adventurous one is in the building. What's up, Joseph Michaels? On this episode, Mark goes from Disney shield to Disney hater again. Paul sits back and smiles about it all. Is he secretly involved in Mark's sudden turn? Watch and find out. I need to find that Disney shield shirt, dude. I haven't seen it since.
Maybe I am and maybe I'm not.
Yeah. That Disney shield shirt literally vanished. I don't know where it went.
Uh-oh.
To be fair, I haven't looked for it. I just haven't ran across it. So, I would love to wear it. It's a great shirt, especially if I'm talking Disney topics. I feel like it's a nice little safety net. Wellbore, what is going on? How's it going? Hello. You damn right we are. I have Comic Issues is in the building. What's up, homie? Good to see you. Hello. Comic Cap Collectibles. Yo, what is going on? Hope you're doing good tonight. Glad you can make it. Kenny B, hello to you. Yo, what's up, Specs? Haven't talked to you in a while. Good to see you in here. How have you been? What's good? We got Steph in here. Happy Sunday to you. What's up, Headquake? Best use of using one's phone while on the toilet watching at week's end. I couldn't agree more. I'm trying to agree more, but I can't because that's how much I already agree. Bart, what's up, homie?
He's reached his agreeing limit.
Yeah, I'm fully in full agreement.
Yeah.
What's up, Bart? Man, I got to give you a call. Bart shoots me like, like it's almost like a wellness check for your friends that, you just shoot them like a meme or a reel and you just make sure that they see it. And I try to react to them because I'm busy, but I haven't actually talked to him on the phone in about 2 weeks, which is a long time. I need to give him a call. AR, what's up? Bonjour. Bonjour to you, good sir. Let's see who else we got in here. Augusta question. Do you feel like that AugustaCon Anime Con come to the city too much? Paul, this is the one that I regularly, Paul can tell you how I feel about this. I talk about it on the channel. That con and the guy who puts it on can eat shit and bark at the moon. They can go all the way to hell.
And that's him being pleasant.
Yeah, that's me being pleasant. I will not support it. I don't support it. I won't go to it. I don't do anything. Anybody that sets up there and attends it, I have no ill will toward. I hope they do well, hope it performs well. But the guy, he's like the equivalent of a used car salesman from the 1980s. Like that's what it feels like. It's what it is. It's just a cash grab. I'm not for it. There's no passion or love for the hobby or anything. It's just, I don't know. Someone found a grift and took it. Hats off to him. I hope he lives forever. I hope he takes all of his money with him when he goes on that big adventure at the end, Hope he's able to keep it all. Now, Ed and the Joe Fest, full support. The guys who put on the Vault show, Chris Foss and them, full support. What is going on, Stephen C? How's it going? Hell, even when Zolo throws the Garage Con, fully support. I try to go every time. I love locals. I will support locals even if I don't love them because they're locals and they're working for the hobby. But this guy's not a local. He just swoops in, takes advantage of a fandom, doesn't care, doesn't think about how there's a community element to it, doesn't contact shops or anything, just comes and sets up on free comic book day, which that was just in bad taste. Augusta has an anime con, pop con, horror con every other month. Yep. Don't go to any of them. It's the same guy who puts them on. He puts on the same show. Like we talked about this season. He's got like a 200-mile diameter that he just every weekend he just goes to a different one.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on? Evil Mike is in the building. What's up,
Mike?
homie? Christina Payne, good to see you. Hello, hello. I was excited to find out that she had those Dick Tracy toys. Are you in that chat group where they were talking about the toys earlier?
I don't think so.
I didn't get involved in the conversation, but I saw where she was talking about how she had these little Dick Tracy toys. And they reminded me of the ones from when I was a kid. Not older than that, but the ones like that came out around the time of the Warren Beatty movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's some good stuff in there. The final boss got to Mark, LOL.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, Lee? Good to see you in here. Yeah, you see that Lee has a second channel now for his band that he's in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Some knowing Lee's style and stuff, having talked to Lee about like different artists and stuff, like I'm glad that I have had those conversations with them in the past. Very easy to see what they got going on. It's very fun, very entertaining music. Very good stuff. Hey, Beckerman, of course, AR put the effort into learning other languages. Yeah, anything but relaxing that guy. Mm-hmm. What is going on, Brother John? Hey, highlight of today is Brother John entering the Heroes Con chat saying, I'm back. That was the highlight of my day.
Nice.
It's a proper Heroes Con now. When are you starting Legion Con? No reason. We got Joe Fest. We got CanaCon. We have some proper shows from locals and stuff. No reason at all. I just don't like the grifter. That's all. He's more than welcome to do what he does, but I'm more than welcome to feel how I want about it. And hell, even Specs is like, yo, what's going on with this? Like that's coming from not me, that's a local also who's not me. Yeah, he's the creator of holy crap. The View, Legacy of the View, the comic book. Y'all can follow him on Instagram. He's got like 4 or 5 issues out now. But yeah, really cool comic. And he includes like local stuff into the mythos even and stuff like that. What is going on? Random Reads is in the building. Hello, hello. I went to AugustaCon once. Never again. See, Sledge doesn't live in Augusta, but he's local enough, like he's down here in driving distance of each other. This year's Joe Fest got a decent lineup so far. Larry Hammond, Sarge, and Ron Rudat. Rudat. I think the voice of Quick Kick, too. Yeah, unfortunately for Joe Fest, it is on the same weekend as Heroes Con. Typically, I try to do both of them, but if it's one or the other, it's 100% of the time Heroes Con, as Joe Fest is just ain't up there. Ain't the same. That is cool. Larry Hama was able to be at Heroes Con last year because it wasn't on the same weekend. I know that's not Ed's fault who puts on Joe Fest. He tries like hell. You book this stuff so far out in advance. He tries like hell to offset it because they're both in June. But Heroes Con moved this year. Heroes Con moved, and Ed shifted, and then Heroes Con moved it back a couple years later. So that sucks for Ed.
Sounds like MegaCon. I think I was telling you, like every year it's in a different month every year.
They don't even change weekends.
Yeah.
What is going on, House of L Comic? Good to see you in here. Thanks heaps, Mark. Here's a link to my band's channel if anyone's interested. Yeah, Lee's got the wrench, so that's actually a clickable link. Y'all hit that up and try to figure out which one is who. The name of the band is 2 people's names, and it's up to you, the viewer, to figure out who is who. It's like Hall and Oaks.
Who is Hall?
Yeah, you were right there with like Hall and Oaks with a question mark.
Right.
What irks me is Ed can't get CGC or CBCS reps at show. It's not a comic show, though. That's why, you know what I mean? But I mean, you'd have to get them there, like with their toy grading services. I mean, they have comics there. Like, don't get me wrong, there's more comics there than any casual person could want. But it's a toy show first, which is for me. I love it because they go to Heroes Con to get that comic book itch. Nothing is comparable to Heroes Con for comic books. And then you go to Joe Fest, and like that's where Finn was haggling for old Godzilla toys. And you have like a lot of the artsy craftsy people, but you have actual toy vendors galore. Like any toy you can think of, you can find it loose or mint in box. And I'm like, this is just, it's heaven. And then at that point, there's enough comics to keep you happy, kind of thing. But I don't know how hard or easy it is to get CGC or CBCS there. That being the case, like there should be people there that are certified CBCS. What's it called? Like reps, graders, authenticators.
Yeah, I really think that unless there are a lot of creators there too, because a large thing of what they do is they witness signatures there. Yeah, they take in books and everything like that, but you can mail them the books. They're not going to. It's just kind of like, you know, they're not going to go to a convention just to take in books, you know, from people. They're going to go.
They do it the big ones.
Yeah, but they also ones. Yeah, but they go and they go to Artist Alley and they watch the witness signatures. They do a lot of that, you know, and that's really why they go to the bigger conventions, because there's a lot of artists and creators there.
Yeah. And there's a handful, like I know Jeff's got a book with like it's like 4 or 6 times signed now. Like it's got a lot on there.
Wow,
and I think there's a limit at CBCS of how many signatures they're willing to authenticate. But Chris is a certified CBCS dealer, and he's a witness for, like, he can witness. Like I know that he can do that. So if Chris can witness, I don't know if he's willing to do that. Like, you're a local. I mean, you can go ask him, like, hey man, if I go right there and get this book signed, can I bring it back to you and you send it off saying, you know, witnessing it? I'm not asking him to do it as a service, but yeah, 5 autos on one book. Yeah. Ron Rudat is sculpting the Heels and Faces retro wrestling figures I like so much. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. I got Danhausen and Raven figure, Heels and Faces. That's pretty cool. My CM Punk was supposed to be delivered, but don't know if Porch Pirate or what. I'm pissed. Dude, I saw Jeff's Bryce comic video. I don't know if anyone else saw that yet, but his video starts with just like, he's, again, local. Like, so mail is crazy, but his package was, when he got to his package, you know, it came in, priority box. Mm-hmm. And it was out of the priority box, Gemini mailer, and then the Gemini mailer open, and then the comic packs left alone. So it was all completely unboxed and then stacked back up. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. I'm just glad that his comic packs were left intact. He pulled some really cool books. Y'all got to check out what he pulled. He got 2 of the Bryce Comics packs. If y'all hadn't checked it out. I wish Grader was there the year I got the 5s. Yeah. What's going on, Dan's Hobby Corner? Good to see you in here. Hello. All right. Let's see. We made it to the bottom. So let's go ahead and dive into this. I guess first things first. I mean, this is what everyone's talking about. Daredevil Born Again. As people know, Paul's a DC guy. My passion's mainly with DC, but I love Marvel stuff. And Daredevil is a beloved Marvel property because of Netflix. What they did there really solidified this character to a general audience. Daredevil's been around. He's pretty known. We've had a live action movie. We had Trial of the Incredible Hulk. He's known enough, but Daredevil is what really did it for the current audience. So this is one that a lot of people were nervous about Disney taking over. It's had a rocky road to get here, from firing their showrunners, going back to extreme amount of rewrites. And we really weren't sure what we're going to end up getting. And this is our first chance talking about this. They dropped the first 2 episodes together on the first week. And then that week we had the Miranda brothers on, and then they dropped episode 3. So we're here for the first time getting to talk about really all 3 episodes. And I'm going to kick it over to Paul because I'm a Disney shill. Where are you at with this? What do you think?
It's not terrible. But my biggest concern with it.
I thought you were going to love it, to be honest with you.
No, my biggest concern is that it's really kind of ended up being, and I get that there's the whole. Well, let me start. To me, it's ended up being Matt Murdock, attorney at law. so far. That's pretty much what it is. We saw Daredevil in the very first, maybe 10 out of the first 15 minutes. Great action sequence. A little bit with I mean, you could definitely tell that wasn't the city behind them.
Yo,
You know,
I saw somebody on Instagram who side by sided the Daredevil running the rooftops with the Ben Affleck stuff, and it
that,
looked identical. Like not the movements, obviously, but the special effects, the color palette, the kind of shininess to his suit. I'm like, but that kind of made me happy. Like that didn't bother me. CG rarely bothers me,
yeah,
but I'm like, this people got to stop complaining about the stuff that I love when the new
right.
stuff is looking just like it. It's pretty funny.
But there were some definite like artistic choices that, like the very first shot that they show of Kingpin, it's upside down, and to me that's the director saying basically the world has been turned upside down.
Yeah,
We got Foggy's dead. We've got the Kingpin is running for mayor. That type of
Karen's
thing.
off on the
Yeah,
walkabout.
yeah. And then the first time you see Matt and he uses his sensor, whatever, is you go from the letterbox and it expands to the entire
Mm.
screen, and then it goes back down later on. But so artistically, I think it's good. Like I said, the fight scenes I thought were pretty good as well. But I guess I kind of wish, and maybe this is me, but that for a show that's called Daredevil, there'd be more Daredevil in it. And I get it's born again, so there's definitely they're following the story and everything, and it's basically about how he's hit rock bottom. I mean, he's got to basically build himself back up to be the fighter. But not being a big Marvel guy, I'm looking for more Daredevil.
Yeah, I put up so for me I'm rating each episode, and I'm gonna rate stuff how I want to rate stuff. I'm rating this highly critical. Like I was highly critical of Creature Commandos to put that out there. That didn't get like a praise per episode for me. There was some I wasn't digging. I wasn't liking the concept of that. Nothing's safe. I'm gonna be critical of stuff. That's how I like to watch stuff. But I gave the first episode a solid 8 out of 10 for really bringing the tone, feel, vibe, kind of what I felt was a necessity to make this work, coming from where we've been and bringing it to where we're at. I was pretty confident with the show after that first episode. I liked a lot about it. There's plenty to critique, some ridiculously bad ADR moments in the opening scene where you can tell, like, not only was this audio not recorded live on the set, I think it was recorded at the next door neighbor's house and they left the microphone in this building, kind of thing. It was really wonky, but it was fine. The second episode, I thought it was good enough. I gave it a 6 out of 10. And it wasn't a matter of me like, I need to see more Daredevil at that point. It was establishing, and you can really tell that they were pushing the story pretty fast into a new era, where we have left the Netflix 3-season storytelling. We've left all the ties, the connections, everything. And we're really starting with this new cast, the supporting characters, and we're getting the direction with this one. And then episode 3 happened, and I'm like, we kind of just did this. You just gave me an entire episode just for someone to remind Matt, like, we belong in the suit kind of thing. And I felt really slighted with how they just like off the White Tiger character. You introduce a character, you pretend, and I don't, excuse me, it's pollen season as of today, but I don't feel like I think they tried to build him up to be somebody you cared about, but it didn't work. Like I felt no attachment to this guy at all. Knowing that he's passed away in real life between filming it and its release is super sad, especially how they used him in the show. It's kind of an unfortunate kind of happenstance thing. And then the big ending that some people were like, oh, that was crazy. Did you see the last 13 seconds of the show? That made that episode awesome. It feels obvious to me. Like it was meant to be like some kind of cliffhanger. Like, was that Frank Castle that just took out the White Tiger when it's clearly not, right? Like we've seen the tattoos on the people's arms.
We saw the tattoo on the guy. Yeah, exactly.
Big graffiti painted on the side of the building where the star witness was being held. It even said the name of this cop gang is the Triggered. And like in the court case, when White Tiger was told he was innocent, the camera like just goes straight to this large group of officers in the stands that are all just mean mugging. I'm like, okay, they're gonna kill him right after this, I think.
Right.
But they ended it with him like putting on the suit and just fought Don down the road and just take one to the dome like it was nothing. And I think it's awesome. And I picked this one on purpose because like some of this channel posted this first official look at White Tiger in Daredevil Born Again. This is about, I don't know, what do you think, 23 seconds before the character's killed? First time putting on the costume, about 23 seconds before he dies.
Yeah, you see him on on a television screen, and like a closed circuit television video for a little while in one of the earlier episodes. But then, that's the first time you see him put on the costume, and then, like you said, 30 seconds later, he's dead.
He's gone. Yeah. I would have. I mean, I understand the storytelling dynamic of it. This is going to spark all kinds of outrage, and really, it feels like the show just had gasoline poured on it at the very last second, so it should get moving and picking up some pace a little bit more from here. But right now, I'm not blown away by anything.
Right.
Daredevil's never been like a fast-paced show. Even at Netflix, it kind of had its own pacing and all that, but really didn't do much for me. I'm not mad at it.
Major rumors coming out of it, though.
Yeah, but like he's also Daredevil,
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, but there's there's rumors about
Oh no, I was talking about this comment.
Oh, sorry.
I put up a post when I was kind of commenting, like, it wasn't an intriguing courtroom drama. It wasn't amazing. There's nothing about episode 3 in that courtroom drama that I'd be like, yo, bro, did you see that? That was cool. You should watch it. Like that's not a thing. And just as a reminder, like, I don't know. Like, Bruce Wayne is the head of Wayne Industries, but I don't watch him in boardrooms because that's stupid. It's boring. Like him having to balance work life is a thing, but why would you want to watch an hour of him at work?
Yeah, there was definitely no "you can't handle the truth" moment.
No, definitely not. A lot of these superheroes have day jobs. Mm-hmm. Never have I cared about any of them outside of Superman's, which is like tied into how he does his work. His wife works there. Like, she's a big deal. I don't know. It was just kind of there.
Right.
Just kind of there.
Supposedly the Defenders might show up in season 2.
Oh yeah, they greenlit season 2 after the premiere of season the first week, which, by the way, did terrible. I did not see that coming. I thought that this was going to do good numbers, but apparently it only did like just over 7 million viewers for the first, like, however many days stretch that they counted it for, which is lower than Ahsoka, lower than the Acolyte,
lower than Agatha.
Like, lower than Agatha. Like, it did terrible. Mm-hmm. And keep in mind, Agatha was canceled based off its numbers. Acolyte was canceled based off its numbers. So hopefully with Daredevil, like, maybe some like word of mouth will get around and people will go back and watch it. I mean, Agatha releasing had low numbers. I think people were actively canceling subscriptions. Like, all right, there's nothing coming on for a long time. I don't think anyone canceled with Daredevil.
Oh, this is the first quarter in a while that Disney Plus has actually, the last quarter, they actually lost subscribers.
I know they lost at least 750,000 at least, because those are the ones that weren't real people. I don't know. The National Geographic numbers, they had a government contract for 750,000 subscribers as a way for that was like we'll give you 750,000 subscriber dollars so that you can use this money to create National Geography programs, which everyone loves National Geography programs. But that's just weird. Why would you just hand them the money? Why would you hand it to them in the form of active subscriptions? That sounds illegal on the Disney Plus end. Like, didn't Bob Chapek get in trouble for stuff like that?
Yeah, he was fudging numbers. He was moving money between different divisions of Disney.
He tried it with Avatar too. James was like, "Hey, whoa, give us our money." Mm-hmm. It's about a 5 to 6 out of 10. Too much jabbering, not enough fighting. I don't think anybody thinks that was Castle. Dude, I have in comments talked to many people, seen the many comments. Nobody, I think, who's like, maybe like, I don't know, casual fans or casual viewers. I think that they do at least enough of them. Wait, it's not the Punisher?
And we are supposedly going to see Foggy again. So
in season 2.
Yeah. And what's the girl's name? Karen Page.
Hey, on a happy note, I grabbed Tales to Astonish 90 in the collection I picked up this weekend. Fantastic. Is that the Silver Surfer one, or is that 91? I'm picturing like Hulk fighting the Abomination and Hulk hanging onto the Silver Surfer surfboard. I don't remember which one 90 is off the top of my head. It's in this box right here, though. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. was tempted just to grab it and see. Oh, next one's gonna be a tough one. Now, I intentionally grabbed the happiest of images I could for this one. Time to talk about the Stan Lee documentary. A lot of people have opinions on it. A lot of people have knee-jerk reactions on it. I got my own thoughts. I spent a little bit of time looking into it. Yeah, Abomination. Yep. Is it the first one with him on the cover, or just is it the Submariner cover, which is the first Abomination? And his second appearance is his first cover appearance with him and Hulk fighting on the cover with a white background with a red above and below. That one's a nice cover. So is it the Submariner or the Fighting the Hulk one? But the Stan Lee documentary called Stan Lee, the Final something. But I chose this picture because it makes me smile. This is how I remember Stan. Fully aware of a lot of the stuff.
Rob Liefeld doesn't have feet either.
That's right. A lot of people are aware of like the news and the mistreatment and stuff like that. What have you heard? What do you think about this? What is it called? It's called Stan Lee Final something.
Yeah, I don't recall, but I'm not gonna watch it, to be honest.
It's nothing to see.
Exactly. We all know about it. I don't need to see it. You know, and to me, that type of thing really kind of affects me. You know, having people take advantage of elderly people, to me, is like one of the absolute worst things that people can do from a moral perspective.
Now, I know a lot of people are upset about this, one, being made, and two, the manner in which it's going through this process right now. So there's a Kickstarter for this, not to get a copy of the movie. The Kickstarter is just to recoup some funds for making the movie. Movie's coming out no matter what. Movie's not coming out in physical. If you back the Kickstarter, it doesn't get you a copy of the movie. Where I'm a little. So some backstory. The guy that's making it, like it was about an hour and a half, close to 2 hour stream that I watched. That's him with the Legolas hair over there. And it was on Nerdrotic's channel. He's a huge YouTuber. He's got like millions of subscribers. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of Nerdrotic. Either you love him or you hate him. He's a huge YouTuber. And the guy was on with Nerdrotic, and he explains like his connection to Stan. And this is where things get a little bit dicey, in my opinion, where it gets a little weird. Now, Chris, the guy with the without the glasses over there, he was calling him out on some of the stuff that people have some concerns about, like why isn't the movie available on here? And they were asking, if you have all this evidence, why didn't you go to the authorities? Why are you making a movie years later? Well, he did. He went to authorities numerous times in numerous ways, and proving elder abuse in the moment is super difficult to do, because like they go and do wellness checks, and like, you know, like anybody who's dealt with elderly people, you know, some days they have good days and some days they have worse days. Some days you have just situations where if only someone was here to see this, they could get it. It kind of requires being around a little bit to start noticing the little nuances of what's happening a lot of times. And Stan was spoken to, and he would okay at things and stuff like that. There's a lot to it. But what's got me is the guy's connection to Stan is that he was in film school. He gets out of film school back in like 2015. And that was when like everything reality show wise was easily sold. And he had an idea, well, I'm fresh out of film school, I'll do a reality show about Stan Lee or something. And he pitched it to Stan Lee, and Stan thought it'd be a great idea. And that was his connection. That's why there's footage. That's why he was there hanging out and all this stuff. So that's where it comes from. But this is just so weird. Now that it's there, he's wanting to sell it. Like he's clearly wanting to make money off of it. I mean, he's put in a lot of work to it. No matter what the subject is, a lot of time out of his life has gone into it. He hasn't done anything till now because the guy the alleged person who took advantage of Stan Lee, as soon as he found out he was going to authorities and putting some footage out there, he sued him. So it's been tied up for years, where in a legal battle, which he's not 1000% done with, but he's clear. You know, he just finally got permission to share this footage out, that it's his footage and he doesn't have to forfeit it over to the guy who's suing him, kind of thing. So that explains the timing. Chris Claremont. Is it Chris Claremont? I think it's Chris Claremont. No, Roy Thomas. Maybe Chris Claremont, but Roy Thomas, Rob Liefeld, and Mark Wade have participated in this in the sense of just sharing their experience of what they think of those final times with Stan Lee. And I'm of the mindset that anything that Uncle Rob puts his stamp of approval on, I don't have a hard time being against. It doesn't mean I'm going to watch it. But if Rob has a better understanding of this situation, of the person making it, and the details involved, and Rob really does fight for creators. Rob had a real close relationship with Stan. Rob legitimately loved Stan Lee. He knew him since he was a young teenager through his life. Like, so I have a hard time thinking this guy's got full ill will. But best case scenario, it's something I'm not watching. I don't need to see. And the guy even points out that because someone asked him, like, why didn't you just put it out on the internet for people to find? And he's like, I did put it out on the internet, but I'm nobody. You know, I don't have a big following. I'm just a guy, you know, I don't have a social media footprint. I don't have a big channel. And he said, I put out some footage and it sat there for a couple of weeks, only got 2,000 views or so. And he took it down. But he's saying all this while he's sitting on Nerdrotic's channel, who they say that they've known each other from back when this guy was a kid working at a comic shop. So, you know, Gary, you know, Nerdrotic, you had no problem getting here now when you want this Kickstarter. You could call Gary anytime you want. And even Chris, the other guy who was co-hosting it, has his own channel and some movie-based channel or something. And he said, you could have hit us up. We would have ran with that story. And because he points out news outlets, like, and calls them by name. This news outlet, this one, this newspaper, that one, they all turned down the story. It's wild. But it's an interesting story. It's definitely not black and white, but I'm with Pop's hard pass on actually watching it. If they use AI to get Stan Lee to voice over his own documentary, God, that'd be rough, wouldn't it? Yeah, there it is. Film threat. That's it. Yeah. He told dude straight, like, we were somebody you could reach out to. But there's some of it that I still don't understand, even after watching that, you know, have me scratching my head. But it was cool to get some clarity.
Yeah. I saw one clip that came out this week, I think it was, or last week, whenever it was. But I don't mind crying at movies, but I don't want to cry because somebody's taking advantage of an old man.
Yeah. And now he did point out that's just like the briefest of clips that he put out with that. He said that they do have like a through line through this. The story is told and it doesn't leave you beaten and broken kind of ending. It does have like a more uplifting, because I mean, he's a filmmaker, you know, this isn't a sliver of evidence that he's releasing to the general public. It's a film. It's a documentary. So he does point that out, but it definitely didn't show in that trailer. That trailer, right, or that footage was just rough. The only thing I could think of that could possibly be more rough than that is potentially the Electric State.
I hear it's out. No, I hear no one's watching it, but I hear it's out.
No one's watched it. $320 million movie from Netflix, the first ever from Netflix studio. The Russo brothers.
The Russo brothers.
Yeah, well, granted, they haven't done anything successful before or since the MCU. So to be fair, they've really never stood on their own merits anyways, but they did it.
Now you can see why they went back to the Marvel universe.
Yeah. But hey, I love what they did at Marvel. I think they did a really good job. And I'll be honest with you, I'm excited to watch this. I just haven't got to it yet. I'm a fan of Chris Pratt. I love Millie Bobby Brown, thanks to the Monsterverse. And I have no clue what this Electric State is. Apparently it's based on a book. Universal had the rights to it, sat on them for a while. Eventually Netflix got them off of Universal and decided to go in on a $320 million movie for their premiere movie out of their own film studio that they have now, from what I understand. And it got a colossal 13% splat on Rotten Tomatoes. And I don't know what its viewer numbers are at, but I don't know.
I don't understand how, I mean, maybe it's just me, but I don't understand how anyone could possibly make a film for $300 and some million and not intending to not release it in movie theaters.
Yeah, they should have done it. They could have Appled this. You know what I mean? Apple's got it figured out, man. You know that F1, the new Brad Pitt movie, the trailer looked so good. It might not be everyone's genre, but that looked like a well-made movie. That's an Apple original going to theaters, and they'll put it on their streaming service. But I do want to pop back to this. that clarity is helpful. Some of that info should be clearly stated on the Kickstarter page. That page is a hot mess. 1000%. And Gary and Chris told the guy the same exact thing. They're like, for one, you need to kill this Kickstarter. 300 is crazy. It seems wrong. You need to be including a charity in this or something. You need to break this up into parts. Like Chris tried to help the guy to not look like a sleazeball. Like if the guy, let's just grant him he's an angel. Chris was just like, everything about this looks terrible. Right. Everything.
Well, because there's no indication as to where the money is going for one thing, right? Or very
it's going to him. What do you mean? It says it in there. Dude, it says it's going to him, his crew, his editors, food trucks. Like it tells you, everywhere it tells you it's going is where nobody would want their money to go. Right, anyone who reads that page, like, why? I'd rather just donate directly to something else. That if I'm feeling moved by these unfortunate things that happened with Stan, I'll just donate to something else, kind of thing. Poor MBB has been getting so much hate. What is MBB?
Millie Bobby Brown, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like Millie Bobby Brown. She's got a fantastic Instagram page. The Russos will go down as the greatest money launderers in American history. Yeah, they took the top cake with that, didn't they? Watch me exploit Stanley with a documentary about people exploiting Stanley. Exactly. I watched it with the kids. It was okay. Extremely predictable. Some cool robots, but overall it wasn't good. Yeah. That's what I'm hearing from it, that visuals are fine, but it misses any soul. Like if I went to Rotten Tomatoes and read the reviews, there's not a lot of actual critic reviews. When something's super low like that, I always think to look how many reviews are in, and it's not a lot of even reviewers watched it. Not a lot of the popcorn meter doesn't have a lot of reviewers on it or anything, but everyone seemed to just be copying and pasting each other's work on their reviews, like soulless, had no soul. Just a mashup of familiar tropes from other things minus the soul. But I don't know. I'm gonna watch it. I have Netflix. I'll watch it.
I mean, I might watch it too, but because Saturday afternoon.
I gotta see what is. I gotta see what's up with it now. You know what I mean? $320 million, and they were making fun of Zack Snyder with Rebel Moon. That thing charted, man. Rebel Moon charted big time. They got huge number of viewers. Like you don't have to like him. The guy's got an audience. I'm one of them. But I'm going to watch this too. I hope the Russo brothers find their audience with it. You know, with Netflix and the way things release and it being on streaming, and it's just there whenever you want to watch it. You can't expect always like this big release weekend thing like you would if you put it in cinema. But I can't believe, like you said, they didn't do a theatrical run with this. That's crazy.
Right.
You would at least got an influx of people that already have Netflix. Like everyone who goes and pays to see this at the theater would probably have Netflix subscription already. That's just bonus money.
Right. And okay, let's take a look. What movies have released in the movie theaters in the past 2 weeks? And what do we anticipate in the next 2 weeks? Nothing. You got a Chris
Pratt, waiting on Mission Impossible.
Russo Brothers movie. People would go to the movies just on that alone.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you're not going to make back maybe your 300 and some million once word of mouth gets out, but you're probably going to make some of it back.
You remember what Amazon did for The Rock and J.K. Simmons Red One?
Yeah,
they spent tons of money, like a $200 million Christmas movie that they made for Amazon Prime, and in like the final hour, they're like, dude, let's do a theatrical run with it. Right. You know what? And if someone has an Amazon subscription, they can see it for free. Probably have to go through a pain in the butt process online to get your ticket, proving your Amazon Prime subscription, but they just wanted it to be seen. They're like, let's put it out there. Every ticket it sells is one more ticket than just putting it out. And it was a massive success. Massive success. They're doing a second one, and it was actually a really fun movie. It was really good.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's on the we ended up watching it like 3 times this Christmas season. It's on the rotation now. It'll be watched every single year now. Krampus was in there. Like what? It was tough. The abominable snowmen were cool. It was just awesome. Meanwhile, shoot movies like In a Violent Nature from Shudder was released in theaters. Yeah, dude, I still haven't seen that yet. Watch it. Just keep expectations low. That's fair. That's fair. And at least they made 2 movies out of Rebel Moon. They made 4 movies out of Rebel Moon, my guy. Yeah, and I watched 3 of them. I couldn't help myself watching the part 1 edited version because I'm like, I gotta see it. And then I'm like, I'm not watching part 2 edited, not doing it. So I just waited for the proper full versions of both to come out, and I loved them. Dude, hell, I like Rebel Moon toys even. Of course, they're in arm's reach.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And thanks to the adventurous one, Joseph Michael, I have Nemesis over on the shelf over there. Y'all can see that on Finn's Billion of Toys. That's where that was opened up. The acting is flat as hell. Looks like everyone phoned it in. What's up with Chris Pratt's hair? It reminds me of Jason Momoa's hair in the upcoming Minecraft movie. Amazon bought MGM, so they have a decent distribution, but Netflix refuses to not do day-to-date. Yeah. But after Electric State, yeah, exactly. And the high the password crackdown will probably change things. Yeah, they're experimenting. It extremely.
Speaking of Amazon, they bought something else too in the past couple of weeks that we never got a chance to talk about.
You about James Bond?
Yeah.
Talk about James Bond. We mentioned that it was in dispute, but yeah, since then a whole lot's changed.
Yeah, basically they bought out the Broccoli family, who owns. They were the producers of the Bonds movies forever, and supposedly, if you believe the stories, but apparently Amazon went to the Broccolis or broccoli. I don't know which is how they pronounce
broccoli.
it.
I think.
Yeah,
it'd be weird to call them the Broccolis, wouldn't it?
And said that they wanted to do a series based on Moneypenny. And apparently they were told it was no, they're not going to do that. And so basically Jeff Bezos said, I don't care how much it costs, just buy them out.
Mm-hmm. No, that's money right there.
Right.
And so it's going to be interesting.
We probably will see a series. We probably will see a series before we see a movie, I would think. Something.
Be interesting.
Yeah.
Amazon's got some good series. When I say that, I'm specifically thinking of Reacher. You been watching that, or is that one you keep up with in real time?
No, not really. No.
Oh man, the ish has hit the fan in that. It's good. It's just good. I love that show. Me and Kyle were able to catch up on the last 2 episodes last night. It was fantastic. Enjoying every minute of it. This week, we also did get like the biggest movie news I've seen announced in a long time. In a whole long time.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about it. It's right in my wheelhouse on numerous levels. And that was the fact that Neil Blomkamp will be doing a Starship Troopers movie.
I'd like to know more.
Dude, that is like the toughest headline I have read in a long time. So Neil Blomkamp is a phenomenal director. District 9, Elysium, Chappie, like the movies he makes are 9 out of 10. Like every time, like he's got these gorgeous, wicked, amazing special effects. He has like this thing about shooting stuff in South Africa. I don't know if he's from there or whatnot, but it creates this like just this unusual feel to it because not a lot of stuff is filmed there like that. Budget through the roof, and the stories he tells they're not throwaway stories. Like they come with like a really heavy message and all kinds of stuff. But I'm super excited for this. I put up a post about it, and I said that Neil has impossible shoes to fill, but he's fully capable of carving out a completely separate masterpiece, because the original Starship Troopers to me is like one of my all-time favorite movies, thanks to my dad showing it to me when I was way too young to see it. And
don't you have stuff on your wall up there?
Oh, of course, yeah. These right here that are always up here, that's Rico, Ace, Sugar Watkins, and Carmen. But yeah, and I got the giant arachnid right there, then the pile of toys that the kids play with, and on top of that, what's funny is those are the carded ones. I have the loose ones where the kids play with them because I had to get them on card for myself, and I had to get them loose so that the kids could play with them too. So I've got like vintage toys laying around everywhere where the kids play with them in here.
And I got to admit that 1997 film, the Verhoeven film, it had. I mean, when I saw it in the movie theater, it had. I mean, those arachnids are scary. They're scary as shit. And then when you see that the queen or whatever, come out, it's like
the brain bug.
Yeah, the brain bug. Yeah.
Yeah. The newest season of Reacher is extra ridiculous. Yeah, in the best ways possible. 1000% agree. That's what's fun about it, in my opinion. Like the machismo cornball. It's almost like watching Tulsa King. How it's like good, like how Tulsa King is good. Of all the movies released this week, I went to see Opus, A24 new psych thriller. It's similar to Menu meets Midsummer meets Mother. Nice. Starship Troopers launched Dinah Meyer's career. Yeah, Dizzy. Yeah, Dizzy was awesome.
Yeah, but
Movie 17 is interesting and worth watching. That one just cost Warner Brothers over $100 million, and they're throwing it on streaming this month.
it also typecasts who is the kid there? Rocco. What's the guy's name? The actor's name.
The kid or the main character?
The main character.
Batman.
Who?
In Mickey 17?
No. I'm talking about in
Starship Troopers?
Starship Trooper.
How about Casper Van Dien?
Casper Van Dien, yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah, next time you see him after that is getting cut in half in Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, and he played Tarzan in a movie too, I think.
He did. Tarzan and the Lost Kingdom.
But no one will ever, I mean, everyone just remembers him as Rico.
Mm-hmm. That was a solid Tarzan movie. It was very of its time and of its budget, but it was really good. J-Man actually did a stream talking about it a couple of weeks ago, and I went back and rewatched that Tarzan movie. There's a lot of, having not seen it since I was a kid and having seen like the Tarzan Legend of the Apes, which is, dude, the new Tarzan with Alexander Skarsgård, I love that. But having watched that a bunch of times, and that was who's the director that did that? He did like the Lone Ranger movie, and he's a wicked good director. But going back and watching the Casper Van Dien one, it made it a lot easier to watch because you can like fill in a lot of like, they meant this. This person is meant to be more, kind of gives you a better mind's eye. But with this right here, I think it's in good hands. I think that it's been a long time since we had a Starship Troopers anything. We had the animated show, which was awesome, the Roughneck Chronicles. But with the Casper Van Dien film, the Paul Verhoeven film being so different from the book, and like with Neil like leaning so hard into realism, he has so much to work with without stepping on the toes of the OG. So I think that he's really, really, really in good hands. But it leaves me with one important question. If you've seen Elysium, if you've seen Chappie, if you've seen District 9, you might know where I'm going with this. Every director has his own actors. And if he's making a Starship Trooper movie, who is Sharlto Copley going to be? He's going to be somebody. Who's he going to be?
Right, yeah.
Is he going to be Zim? What? Is he going to be Drill Sergeant Zim?
Yeah, it's like with Christopher Nolan, what part is Cillian Murphy playing?
Yeah, who's Cillian Murphy going to be?
Yeah.
Yeah. So who's Sharlto Copley playing?
Yeah.
Leave your best guess in the chat, and we'll revisit this down the road. He's been in a ton of great roles. Yes, exactly. So he has to be Zim. I want to see that. If you've seen Elysium, he plays one of the most legit, intimidating, crazy villains I've seen on film when he played Kruger. I don't know if you've seen that Elysium with Matt Damon and Sharlto Copley.
No.
Oh my God. Yeah, he was Murdoch in the A-Team. Dude, wild. Absolutely wild. That's a fun movie right there. What's up, big dude?
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, Ben.
You know what? We just found out earlier this week they're making a new Starship Troopers movie with the big spider bugs and those toys. The one that we watched on vacation. They're making a new one.
Yeah, but the people that got Aiden in the first one aren't going to be in that one.
I think they're remaking it, like telling the story over from the beginning. It's called a remake. It's when people with a lot of money can't think of good ideas on their own, so they just do the same old ideas again and try to do them cool. So it might have Rico and all them all over again. So that means we get to watch them die all over again.
And they might add like a bit more to it, like different parts that wasn't in number one. They might add like
they might. And in the book that it's all based on a book, and in the book they wore actual suits. They had like power suits and they had like helmets that cover their whole heads and stuff because they were in space. So maybe we'll get some of that in there. It'll be cool. Cass Homie as Rico. Yeah, that'd be cool. Have Sharlto Copley as Rico. Just send him to Clendathu on his own. He's got this. He'll play Dizzy. No. All right, go to bed. Why aren't you in bed? I don't know. I haven't seen him comment in a while. I don't know. That's that book that you looked at. It's the order catalog for the stuff coming up. It's got all the different Godzilla books and stuff in there.
What does this say?
Here There Be Aliens. You read that the other day. Take it with you. You can have it. I only got it so you can see what's coming out.
Here be aliens and there be aliens.
Yeah, why aren't you in bed? Hey, go. You don't have to take it with you. I'm putting my money on Razak. he would bring him to life. That'd be a good one too. That'd be a good one too. That was Michael Ironside that played him in the original.
Mm-hmm.
Just as long as he's there, like you at this point, you know, like people that follow this director, we expect to see him. We expect to see him. Yeah, the remake of Starship Troopers is going to be more faithful to the book, and some worry on how that will go because it had some different takes than the movie we saw. Yeah, absolutely. It's the book is very political, like, and I don't know if that 1950s view of some of the ideologies will just come off as like trying to be heavy-handed in today's society. You know, like time and place matter. You can go in the best intentions, and people be like, "What is this?" Glenn Powell, that'd be a good Rico. A little clean cut, but so was Casper Van Dien. He was a rich kid. Yeah, I'm definitely team Glenn Powell. I wanted to see him as Hal Jordan until they decided to go elderly with the cast in general. We got old Sinestro, old Hal.
You're like, if you're gonna make him older than John, you might as well make him 80.
So tomorrow we're gonna have Angela Lansbury announced as Carol. It's gonna be wild. But anyways, on to some other things. Brighter days ahead. Me and Paul were talking about this right before the show. Of course, Spider-Man is about to get a relaunch with issue number 1. Amazing Spider-Man number 1 is up for pre-order now. Saw this Lee Bermejo cover. Lee Bermejo shared this image out a few weeks back, but I was puttering around the Big Time Collectibles website right before the stream and saw this. This is a 1:200 ratio variant. It's currently on pre-order with a bunch of different shops. You can check around, but it's like $160. But that's a wicked cool interpretation of Spider-Man. I just thought I'd share that. Lee Bermejo is an amazing artist.
Now, are they doing like is the Virgin the 1:200, but they're doing one with a trade dress or something? Or
I don't know. This is the exact image I didn't. You know, like what was like 1 minute before we went live that I noticed it.
Yeah.
I got no info on this other than that's the image that's used on the cover. And I looked up the cover. I right clicked it, hit save, and then threw it on the photo editor to put it in here real fast. But it's a wicked cool cover. As long as Zendaya isn't in it, I'm down. I got no problem with Zendaya, but she don't have to be in everything. I really like her in Dune. I like everything about those Dune movies. They're amazing. And then I do want to talk about this. I went on an adventure the past week. I guess I started it last week, so it's no secret. I'm on a quest to own as many copies of Turok number 1 as I possibly can. According to Bob Layton, 1.7 million copies were made, so it shouldn't be too hard to accumulate well more than I should own, which I think I'm well past that at this point with over 90 copies. But that's nowhere near where I want to be by the end of the year. Collecting more copies of this book is on my goal list. And the other day I had this thought. I forgot what made me think of it. Well, I haven't ever read past issue 1, so I decided to do that. And I knew I'd probably enjoy it just fine, but I didn't realize how good this story is. So it's told in 3-issue story arcs. The first story arc is really just establishing Turok in the Valiant universe. Because Turok originally was at Dell Comics. He was set in the 1800s, where he finds this lost valley where dinosaurs still exist. It's called the Lost Land. It's like a kind of like a doorway to another time kind of thing. So they used the Valiant comic event called Unity, where all the characters crossed over, and they let the Unity event take place in the Lost Land so that they could come across Turok. And when all the dust settles, Turok comes out of the Lost Land, but he doesn't go back to the 1800s where he typically would. He ended in 1993. So he's up to the current times of the Valiant character. So this first arc kind of just finishes telling that story with the hyper-intelligent dinosaur that he was facing off against. And then with issue number 4, it takes off. Like it feels like it's its own story now. We get introduced to the new characters. Andar, who was like his Robin back in the day. You kind of wrap up what's going on with him. And Rags freaking Morales takes over the interiors. I had no clue that one of the like most iconic modern DC artists that did like Identity Crisis and stuff, he does interiors for this book, but it was flipping good.
Really?
It blew my mind.
Wow.
What is going on? Comics by the Bay. Need more 70s Japan Spider. Yeah. If only Liv watching it now. I'm 5 minutes behind live. Does that count? Absolutely. I'm going to resort books over the next week, couple months. All my Turoks belong to you. Dude, thank you so much. Yeah. I'm after them. I've got some really cool stuff over here to open. I was trying to wait on something that I picked up off of eBay, and I had to reach out to the seller because it had been like a week and nothing had moved since I paid for it. And turns out it was an item that had already sold, and he had some stuff going on and was away from his computer, kind of thing. No harm, no foul. But I'm going to work on putting some Turok something together. But what's crazy is the whole run of Turok we've had, like all the way, it was like 48 issues, counting issue 0. All of it got put on Pop's Attic. And then I thought about going through and reading it. So I went and pulled it all off Pop's Attic. And it was like someone had picked up most of it. It was down to some random, the Acclaim miniseries stuff, but volume 2 here proper, or technically volume 1 here proper, it had like issue 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 10. So I've hit like a hole. I'm having to wait on them to show up from Big Time Collectible, not Big Time, from mycomicshop.com to fill in some holes. But that had me thinking about other Turok stuff. Of course, the video games from the Nintendo 64. I've had those. I've played a lot of the multiplayer stuff. Never really got into the story. It isn't the same Turok. It's a legacy character, so it's the next person. But I watched this movie right here, the animated feature film from 2008, Turok: Son of Stone, which is it's straight up the Dell version of Turok. It's not Valiant. You don't have cybernetic dinosaurs. Turok's not using any tech arrows. But this was fantastic. This was a good time. Hyper violent. It has it's not rated. If it was, it would definitely deserve an R rating for violence alone. But this is awesome. It's on Amazon Prime right now, and it's also free on YouTube. You just search Turok: Son of Stone, and you can watch this for free. I definitely recommend if you've never dove into any Turok, it's definitely worth checking out. But that was a good time. Oh, I got one more thing on the agenda here, Paul.
Okay. Just an FYI, you can buy that Bermejo as you can buy it with the trade dress for $5.99.
I'll probably go that route in another life. Not in this one. I'm not buying any Amazing Spider-Man comics right now. You know what I will do? I'll just like Google search that picture every now and then when I think about wanting to see it. But I'm not giving Marvel my money. Yeah, Marvel gets my Ghost Rider and Hulk money. That's it. That's all I can give them. I'm sorry, guys. I think I have Dell 656. That is pretty rough. If I find it yours well, nice. I'm hoping to pull a 596 from Heroes Con this year. We'll see how it goes. When is Disney rebooting John Carter Mars? I hope they just give us a sequel, man. We're just getting rid of the rights.
There are too many people who still work at Disney who remember how poorly the last one did.
That was such an interesting. First off, I loved John Carter.
Me too. But it almost brought down the entire studio.
Yeah, that was in their dude. They were swinging for the fences. So like, what happened with Disney is Pirates ran out. You know, they had their Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, massive hit, massive franchise. So they did at World's End, no relation to the show, and it where do they go from there? We need a franchise. So they tried John Carter, flop, failed. They tried Prince of Persia, flop, failed. They tried Lone Ranger, flop, failed. They tried Tron Legacy, flop, failed. Despite all of those being good movies, nobody, it's hard to shift from one thing to another. They're having that problem right now, shifting from, MCU version 1 with the Infinity Saga to it's not the same. These aren't the characters people fell in love with. It's got to be tough having their job. I wouldn't want it. Watched Turok: Son of Stone last night. That movie was fun. Yeah, nice. I'm keeping an eye out for it. I pick up a good bit of 4-color and collections. Nice. But I would love to see another John Carter. I think Taylor Kitsch did a good job. It was well done. The White Apes were insane. They were massive in the movie. But Tars Tarkas was fantastic. Willem Dafoe crushed it with that role. That movie was ridiculously expensive.
I know when I signed into Disney Plus now, I get a whole bunch of like Tron shows up on the thing now, and it's like a lot of the older movies are showing up. A lot of the older Disney movies.
Well, they're probably marketing for Ares has got to be getting close. I'm really excited for Tron Ares. Disney will get my money opening night for Tron Ares.
Yeah, but stuff you like the Black Cauldron.
It's random.
Yeah, like Davy Crockett. Like I'm talking like this like 50s stuff. You know, like a lot of the live action Disney stuff that they did is showing up now and at the top of the screen for you to just kind of
Well, Paul, just to fill you in, speaking of Davy Crockett, his long distant ancestor, Isaiah Crockett, the Long Hunter, first appears in Turok issue number 4. And the big battle between Turok and Isaiah Crockett takes place in issue 6.
Mhm.
He was hired to go hunt the most elusive of prey, Turok.
Yep. Ed Craig Jr., Black Hole was there as well. Was in that thing.
Tron should always be up. Dude, I love Tron. What is going on, Matt? Got Heroes for Hire here. Yo, this got me thinking with the Pete's Dragon thing. That was a good movie. That was a really good remake. Like some of these things really hit. But the Lilo and Stitch trailer, it looks like it's universally well received, which is cool to see. I didn't watch the original cartoon. Kyle and Monkey both watched it a lot. I mean, I see it in passing, but that was one that came out when I was like, I'm like 15 or something. So I didn't stop what I was doing to watch Lilo and Stitch. I think it'd be odd if I did, but that trailer for the live action adaptation, I was like, dude, this looks like a blast. I can't wait to take this to see the kids. Boom! Steven with the sleeves.
Steven Berkling is out here. Look at that.
Yeah, that's Steven with the sleeves, not to be confused with Burke Nasty.
Exactly.
But I hope you're doing good, Steve. Good to see you in here. Feel free to send those Turoks my way. If anybody has any Turok ones, you can help. And also, if you're going to Heroes Con this year, I mentioned this in a live chat last night. I'll be stuck at the C3 booth. And stuck's not a good word for it. I'll be at the C3 booth through most of the con. So while you're out hunting with the vendors, be sure to ask them, hey, do you have any Turok number 1s? And get every copy they have, and then just bring it by the C3 booth, drop them off, and claim your $1 per book reward for every copy of Turok 1. I think that'd be a fun video that I could put together if people just bring the Turoks there and just claim their I'll give you the $1 back. And if you find a vendor that won't sell it for $1 or less, please get their booth number and just let me know, and I'll go work it out with them before I leave. I'll see if I can't get it for $1. Because nobody should be charging more than $1 right now. 1.7 million copies. 1.7 million $1. Give you $1. Everything about Tron is epic, 1,000%. The original, Legacy, both of them, 1,000%. I'm doing good, my man. I'm doing good. How'd your Whatnot show go? You were moving some Star Wars books tonight.
I think it's at 10 o'clock, I think, right?
Oh, you hadn't done it yet?
Yeah.
I did not know that. But Daft Punk did the soundtrack for Tron Legacy, and they even appear in the movie. And Michael Sheen, when he's Castler, the club owner, they're in his club doing the DJing. How to Train Your Dragon live action. Yeah, I'm excited for that one. Now, I have watched those movies. I really like those movies. It's good stuff. I'm on the lookout for an 82 Tron arcade game. Oh, whoa. The light cycle game? That would be dope. Still working on how to get to that con. My man, easy. You get winner, you get your daughter, you get in a car, and you drive there. Just like that. Or get on a plane. I don't
wait to drive.
I can't recommend planes right now. It's like, I'm sure it's nothing out of like the ordinary with like statistic wise, but just coverage wise, the news attention. I love you too much, Steven, with the sleeve. I think you're better off driving right now. Normally it's safer to fly in a plane, but I don't know.
My father used to tell me all the time that it was statistically the safest way to travel. And I would tell him that's true, but nobody ever fell 30,000 feet out of a Hyundai.
I've ridden with Paul. This guy can drive. I was about to say it's like riding with Paul Walker, but that was a terrible analogy. Yeah. But there's this one spot on the highway there in Florida that we have to go, and it freaks me out. It's where we come off an off ramp onto the highway, and it's like 8 lanes wide for some reason. I didn't even know they made roads that wide anywhere other than Russia or China. And within like 100, like realistically, within like 300 feet, we have to be from the far left lane it puts us up on all the way over to lane number 9, the actual off ramp, and 300. And Paul just gets up there and looks over his shoulder and just goes. I'm like, what is happening? Like, it's so scary. He's like, no, I do this all the time. I'm like, okay. I hate driving in traffic in places I don't know. Sell back to mark cover price plus finder's fee. I'm not paying cover price. I'll give you $1 though. I'll give you $1. What is cover price on them? $3.50? No way.
Oh wow.
No way. Break Marks Bank at Heroes Con. I'll have plenty of dollars. I plan for Heroes Con every year. Last year I picked up like the first question, the first Ghost Rider, the first Green Hulk. I'm not doing that this year. Just my list ain't that big. I just want to get probably drop like between $300 to $500 at most on a first Turok in good shape, and then like $300 to $500 hopefully on Hulk 3. That's all I got on the list. I'm looking at like spending under 4 figures with like my most optimistic goals. I am a little bit still looking at some pictures. Nice. Not driving. Flying would be choice for me. Well, the airport's super close. Do it. I know like in some of the group chats, I know people maybe the week before last, kind of a lot of people jumped on ticket prices at the same time because they got real affordable. I'm old. I had the ET game on my Atari 2600 and I loved it. Dude, there's an awesome documentary about people tracking down the landfill where all those were dumped and digging them out and everything. It was cool. It was super cool. If you want to make your kids hate video games, plug up the 2600 and make them play Adventure. Oh, man. I got a Comic Viking gave me an HDMI converter thing for my N64. So I got to go get a new HDMI cord so I can not have to worry about the auxiliary cords to play the N64 now, which I'm excited about. Makes it a lot easier. All right, last thing on the hit list I had here, then we'll talk about some comics for a few minutes. We made it. The second wave is here.
Mm-hmm.
What you know about this, Paul?
Comes out this Wednesday. Lemire and Nobles are the art. It will be Wally West. And then the following week we will have Absolute Martian Manhunter. And then the following week we will have Absolute Green Lantern. So 3 weeks in a row. Next week, this Wednesday, we also have issue number 6 of Absolute Batman. So we get 2 Absolute issues this week.
Yeah, we've made it. So the Absolute books, Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman have been massive hits. Batman being the #1 selling book of 2024. They're every time they come out, they're in like the top 10 lists. Batman's charting #1 every time. It's just
all the #1s, including the Flash, Martian Manhunter, which Scott Snyder was kind of like over the moon about. And Green Lantern, they've all had more than 100,000 orders. So,
it's insane. I think they were tracking like 130,000 for Martian Manhunter alone.
Absolute Batman #1, Wonder Woman #1, Superman #1 are going to another printing. I think it's 6 now for Batman.
And what are they doing?
Dan Mora is doing connecting covers for the 3 of them, including in foil. So, but Dan Mora connecting covers for the next printing for the original 3, the Trinity.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. So this new era with these new characters, we're getting Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter. First up is Flash. The little solicitation says without a mentor, without a family, without the Speed Force. What's left is Absolute Scarlet Speedster. I'm with T-Dubs on this. I've made some posts. Yo, his costume looks ridiculous. And the most he's out there fighting crime in a crop top. I don't understand it. It looks awful. The design for his costume, hopefully he'll get an upgrade pretty fast, but I am interested in the story. Ultimately, I'd like to see a cooler costume, but it's like CG in movies. That's not going to make or break a movie for me. The story is what matters. I'm really excited for this. It's supposed to be a twist with the rogues and everything. And can't wait to see what happens with it. Cannot wait.
And Scott Snyder, in an interview this week, talked about they plan to have a crossover between the original 3, at least anyway, sometime this year, and they're already planning the next big kind of like all-in type, the all-in special that they did. They're planning another one of those sometime this year.
Yeah, so I'm big excited for it. We'll definitely be giving you our thoughts and our feedback on it. If you want to keep up with the details of what's going on in the story, every panel, every page, be sure to check out Sector's channel. There's linked in the description of all the videos. We do the DC Comics deep dive every Monday at 10 a.m. So if you're wondering what happened in any of the all-in or Absolute books, they're all those videos are posted up. They're typically anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes, depending on how much content is in each issue. But you can keep up via those videos, so you know exactly what's going on in them. I'm very excited for it. Why did they relaunch Aquaman as all in but not absolute? So I can easily answer that because we need an Aquaman title. Like since the dawn of me on YouTube, I've been waiting for and looking for more Aquaman books. I've been jokingly and laughing at myself for picking up the weird stuff that they would do with Aquaman. He's been present. He's never not been inside the DCU proper, but he hasn't had his own title in years, literal years. Well, they're like in this all-in initiative, this era that we're in. They're having huge sales boosts because they're doing right after an event, you get big sales boosts. You start new storylines over, people jump in. So the Question has gotten a book. Challengers of the Unknown have a book. Black Lightning has a new book. Batgirl has a book. Poison Ivy has a book. Power Girl has. They're kind of doing like let everyone get a book, and we'll see who's reading what. Well, Aquaman didn't just get a book; he got an ongoing, and they put Jeremy freaking Adams on it with John Tim, so they're banking on it continuing, and it's already doing really well, like high praise feedback. It's in my top 5 reads already after 3 issues. It's crucial to the overarching continuity in DC right now. It's just amazing. Every bit of it is amazing right now. Plus, because of the absolute power event that caused superheroes' powers to go wonky, he's able to have hydrokinesis. He can waterbend, which is like, why didn't y'all do this for this guy? I don't know, 80 years ago? Like, seems kind of obvious now, but it is super good. They're introducing major concepts like the whole Parliament with Swamp Thing being the champion, the avatar of the green, Solomon Grundy of the gray. Your animal-based characters are like the avatars of the red. They introduced the blue in Aquaman number 3.
Lord Dagon.
Yeah, they're calling back to Arian and bringing him into the story. Like, they're doing so much with it right now. It's tied into the death of Darkseid in the All-In Special number 1. It's just doing tons of stuff that had callbacks to numerous little things that have happened in previous issues of Aquaman or books where Aquaman appeared over the last 3 years, including Flashpoint Paradox, where Jeremy Adams got a start at DC. So they're doing all kinds of stuff to really solidify this book as an important book in DC. Aquaman should be a front-running character at DC. Hands down, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Flash, Aquaman should all have ongoing titles at all times, and they should all sell well because you're investing quality writers and artists on those books. These are flagship characters. If someone says Justice League of America and the majority of fans think of a character, they should have an ongoing title, and they should be written well enough that they're carrying their own weight. And that's what it feels like they're doing right now. So it's, exactly. You got it. And like, now they got Martian Manhunter and Absolute. Like, John Jones is the heart and soul of the Justice League. Yeah, like, he's OG member.
I think Batman even tells him that, right? At one point, he's like the heart and soul of.
Justice League 100%. So they let Cy Sperrier destroy Flash. Like, that Flash run is unreadable. And I like Warlord. Like, and I don't care that he's in like these issues. I'm like, I'm not even reading them. I'm just flipping. I literally just flip through them and see if like, no, I don't care. But luckily we have the Absolute Flash. I don't want this to turn into a Marvel Ultimate Spider-Man situation.
Right.
You know, where everyone's like, oh, Ultimate's so good. No, you're just so beaten down for so long by a bad title. You're willing to, like, I'm not saying Ultimate Spider-Man is bad at all. But I'm saying, like, it's probably just par for the course. The first 6 issues weren't good. I read them. They were present. They were there. They weren't bad, but there's nothing about the first 6 issues of Ultimate Spider-Man that would make me tell anybody, hey, you got to check this out. Mm-hmm. Now, Aquaman, different story. Superman, different story. Absolute Line, different story. I'm telling everybody who'll listen, yeah, you might want to check those out. And I have no regrets telling people to check them out.
The Aquaman title or project that I was most sad never made the light of day was Aquaman Earth 1.
Oh,
Francis Manipool was supposed to do that.
That would have been wicked.
Mm-hmm.
I love that entire Earth 1 line.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Grant Morrison Wonder Woman was in my opinion, the most boring of all, but I still appreciate it because it was like he was channeling like Marsden when he was writing it. Like, how would, knowing what you know about Marsden and his real life setup with the dynamics of how Wonder Woman came to be and who really how it was like 3 people's like life experiences that helped create that one character. He was really bringing that into like a modern era. So I appreciated it in that sense. It felt like if you know your Wonder Woman history, you're going to smile a lot reading it. Like, oh, yeah, I get it. I get it, man. you channeling your kinks right now. I like it. Yeah. But yeah, I couldn't agree more with Steven with the sleeves. It's so crazy that we went from Jeremy Adams' run, which everyone was talking about. Everyone was talking about the 1 minute war. And like with 2 issues left to go, they're like, Jeremy Adams is gonna be wrapping up his Flash run. Like, what'd you say to me? Wrapping up his Flash run. We're just getting warmed up. What is this? And then they gave us the Jay Garrett miniseries, like as an apology. Appreciate that. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was so good. His Green Lantern solid. What did you think of the Green Lantern core book that came out this week?
Yeah, he's building big things, you know.
Yo, there's huge stakes in this book. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm kind of mad at the cover. I'm not saying that jokingly. This cover has nothing to do with this book. Guy Gardner is not in this issue. Not a big deal. People appear on covers, but they make this playful, almost kid-like cover of him just drawing goofy little pictures on a Kilowog poster. And I'm, why you little, nothing about this gives you any idea of the tone or vibes in this book. For context, you have John Stewart and Hawkgirl, which is a huge callback to Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, where they have a lot of history together for a lot of fans with the way that they interacted through that. They're traveling to her home world that was decimated by Mogo in the Civil War one-shot.
Well, this is specifically called a recruitment variant.
It's terrible. This is an A cover.
Yeah, I know, but it's called was it?
This is the A cover. Yeah, 211 A cover.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I mean,
the recruitment variant is the acetate one that he did. That's what I was thinking of.
Is it the same cover? Just you could pull
think so. Yeah, exactly. You know,
yeah. But it makes me mad because this book is very serious, which you want your Green Lantern stuff to be. It's cool to have a smart aleck character, but they go to Thanagar, which is decimated, when they reintroduce Atrocitus.
Yeah.
Who's got some of his minions hung up, torturing him to siphon red energy out of him like it's grotesque. They get down to the core of Thanagar and find out that this planet is busted and they're after the nth metal. They destroy what's left of Thanagar, leaving nothing but a chunk of raw, massive nth metal core floating in space. Like her planet is gone. Yo, you remember the last time they destroyed a planet with Green Lantern characters? It changed John Stewart forever. Coast City destroyed, changed Hal forever.
Yep.
Like there's big stakes in Green Lantern comics. It's serious. This is her entire world gone, and you got people going to walk by this on stuff like, corny. And nothing corny about what's inside this book. Doing yourself an injustice. They got it like optics, man. Optics. I didn't even think about that. He's using yellow too. Yeah, good point. I wonder what the spray bottle says. It's got a Green Lantern symbol and just says paint on it. But yeah, not cool. Not cool with the cover. Bad call. I never watched that movie, but I know Wonder Woman was developed by a guy who invented lie detector. Yep. Something Marsden. I forget his first name.
William Moulton Marsden.
Yeah, that's it. William Marsden. I read issue 2 of Hell Hunters. I'm behind on this. Issue 4 was out this week, but I read issue 2 because I was kind of slow to get back to this because I'm only in it for Uncle Sal Ghost Rider. Yeah, this was fantastic. Philip Kennedy Johnson's writing it. Fantastic. You have pretty much supernatural Nazis in World War II trying to build up their supernatural army, and you have this ragtag group with Peggy Carter, Nick Fury, the Sorcerer Supreme, who can't remember his name, but he's got the Eye of Agamotto, Uncle Sal Ghost Rider, and they just come across Logan in this issue as like the last member of his little battalion. And he's not using his claws, he's using these 2 knives right there, and it is absolutely savage. It was cool. All right, it's time to rant. You ready to rant?
Oh, you're gonna rant instead?
Yeah, let me get this rant out of the way. So I'm about to rant about Action Comics issue 1084. We're in the Superman Superstar era still with that little trade dress, which means we have 3-issue story arcs. Every 3 issues, they switch out the writer and the artist. I was so excited when we got to this. I saw it coming. Inaki Miranda from We Live, Blade Forger, Doing Superman for 3 issues? Awesome. That's awesome. Paul's like, hey, look again. John Ridley's writing the story. I'm like, what did you say? What did you say? John Ridley's writing the story. Story's simple. The D-list villains that Superman arrests and put up, they're kind of reformed, but they all kind of start unreforming at the same time. Kicks off with what's the big earthquake guy's name? Damage Control? Damage something? It's a stupid name.
No, Damage was the hero.
Yeah.
Major Disaster?
Major Disaster creates an earthquake. A bystander gets killed. He's in jail for it. Superman's pissed. John Ridley does a stupid John Ridley thing where he acts like he doesn't understand. Well, he shows that he doesn't understand the character of Superman at all. And this kind of stuff, I'm not sensitive to this stuff one bit. I'm a Tom King fan, but it's not just not understanding a character. It's disrespectful. Third issue we get here, the bad guy. So basically, Mannheim is talking bad guys into selling their hope. Like they can channel out their hope and sell it to these aliens. Stupid concept to begin with. But the end of it, you find out that Major Disaster's daughter was the one that actually had a little freak out and killed a guy on accident, freaking out. And Major Disaster sent his daughter off and pretended like he did it to take the fall for his daughter. The problem arises here. At this point, this story is being told to Superman by Major Disaster's daughter.
Scorch.
Scorch took him there to her. And they even give you the editor's note. Major Disaster's daughter has been a villain before. And Harley Quinn, you can see where she fought alongside of her dad. She's a villain. She's not just some innocent little girl. She's a villain who was trying to impress her dad, this and that. Ended up accidentally killing this guy because she had an attitude problem. Couldn't control her emotions. And Scorch said, look, her dad and I both saw what happened. She didn't mean to kill him. And her dad took the fall so she could have another shot. Don't take that shot from her. And he leaves her be. He lets her go and then goes and has a conversation with Lois like, I don't know what to do. I'm supposed to stand for truth and justice, but she told the truth and what would be justice. And like, John Ridley, you are a piece of shit. So you're going to let this villain get away with murder because her ex-villain dad didn't want his daughter going to jail and decided to go serve the time for. That's crazy. Am I crazy for thinking that? Did anyone else read this?
No. Nope. And I mean, I also think that he thing is, and we've talked about this before, is he is actually a good writer. If you've ever seen him in movies, he's a very good writer.
There were some oh damn moments in this, like halfway through when Superman starts throwing some hands at some aliens and stuff, the way that whole thing played out. I was impressed.
Yeah. And he tries to, and he tries to end it on a, truth and justice is needed more than ever, and like type of a thing. And it's like, but
yo, yeah. you let a murderer teenage girl with an attitude problem go. Like you're acting like you'd be conflicted because her dad was willing to take the fall. Dude, countless dads would take the fall for the kid. I can't believe you murdered that guy. I've lived a long time. Don't do it again. This is your one shot. I'm taking the heat. That doesn't absolve the criminal murderer little attitude problem girl. Like that's crazy. Truth and justice. Thanks for telling the truth. Now you can go tell it to a judge and let's be responsible here.
Right.
Your dad's an innocent man who's been reformed. You're going to let him take the fall for you and your actions, you volatile little shithead. Like, what is this?
That doesn't appear.
John Ridley.
It doesn't actually appear in the issue.
John Ridley, you suck. Yo, like I tried so hard to give him the benefit of the doubt. That first issue had that stupid, like it's fake conflict. Like you're creating conflict that wouldn't be there with this character. These aren't situations that he'd be conflicted about at all. It's cut and dry. This is a terrible situation. This is sad. It's sad for the person who lost his life. It's sad for you who didn't do it intentionally, but there's a word for that. It's called manslaughter, and we are responsible for our actions. Like this is a Superman that doesn't think people are responsible for their actions and thinks that justice isn't appropriate for somebody who kills somebody because it was an accident. Like that's crazy, dude. That's crazy. That's literally the opposite of Superman. It pissed me off so bad. Like you ended it with that. You ended on a sour note. I had to go get a paper towel and wipe the spit up off the floor. I told you, John really makes me spit on my own floor. I love these floors. Dude, it's crazy. I was not happy with it. Not happy with it. I'll tell you what, though, this fixed everything. Absolute Superman #5 was phenomenal. Check out the DC Comics deep dive. Click the Sector 2815 @ symbol in the description. Subscribe. Keep up with the entire Absolute universe over there. Stellar issues. The finale to the first story arc, and I'm hyped for the next one. We're in real time. We're on Krypton. Big events happening at both times. You won't believe your eyes. You won't believe your eyes. Superman as a judge would be the old judge from Providence, Rhode Island, who keeps letting minor criminals go. Dude, that guy's awesome. He's so nice. Have you ever seen that guy? He's like this old dude.
But I know him because I'm from Rhode Island, so I know who he's.
Yeah, he's like on like YouTube for years. He's just an honest judge, man. He gets the whole situation and he goes from there. But Superman would be, but he damn sure wouldn't let someone walk on murder because like their dad decided to take the fall for him. That's crazy. Yeah, he's a really good dude. Like there's this old man who came in front of him who got a speeding ticket because he was trying to get the old man was like 93. It was just caught a little speeding ticket because he was trying to he was rushing to get his son to his chemo appointment. And the judge is like, I'm not giving you a ticket. You're 93 and still taking care of your son. Things happen. I'm like, dude, this guy's amazing. Like, this is cool stuff. Good stuff. Last one I got for tonight that I know I want to talk about is the finale to Jupiter's Legacy. Dude, this seemed like an unwinnable situation. The Kobayashi Maru in real time, where our heroes that we followed.
Nice Star Trek reference.
We had 5 volumes, decade in the making, all came down to this. I don't even want to spoil this, but just know that this volume, it wasn't the strongest volume. It wasn't the weakest volume. I would give the weakest volume to Jupiter's Circle, which is like the prequel that came after the first volume. But it was not predictable. Some things happen, like we find out the answer to what the island was, what the purpose of humanity is, Earth, the way that the universe, everything. And it went in a direction I never expected it to go. I'll be honest, it felt a little rushed with how big and vast this got from the finale of volume 4 through this one. I think volume 4 was only 5 issues too. So issue 4 and 5 of volume 4 kind of jettisons us into space. We start dealing with other planets and stuff like that. So it gets big fast. So because there's a gap between 4 and 5 of so long, it really felt like there's just a lot, it's overload. But it's pretty good. That guy Clips got pushed again this week because he just died and was 100 years old. Oh, wow. Lived to 100. That's terrible. Well, I mean, that's sad. It ain't terrible. Dude lived to 100. Good for him.
Mark Miller has Vatican City coming out next, I think, right?
Yeah, it's like vampires or something,
vampires
right?
in the Vatican, right?
Yeah. So it's a biop. It's a bio comic. Yeah. I love nonfiction. You got any other ones from this week that stood out to you?
We can talk about it next week, but it was a double Ghost Machine week as well. So,
these are quite possibly both my favorite issues from both titles this week. I want to hear your thoughts on Redcoat 7 or 10. I'm sorry.
With Annie Oakley, basically. We find Simon Pure meets up with Annie Oakley, and he starts to kind of fall for her. She, of course, she was a woman in the West that supposedly one of the best marksmen ever to ever hold a rifle.
She would do
marksman shows and things like that, and she kind of her and Simon Pure kind of hit it off, and then she starts to realize that he's a pretty good marksman as well, but he's a good marksman because he's been doing it for 100 years.
It's not skill; it's just time with it.
Yeah, exactly. And finally, Simon Pure gets up the guts to kind of hint that maybe they should, start to have a relationship, and that's when
honey, I'm married.
And he says, "Yeah, I'm married." Yeah, exactly. But if you read the Who's Who listing, it will not be the last time that we see Annie Oakley, I'm guessing, because they indicate that there are other adventures that they go on. And we end again with a promise of next issue. We will see the Northerner.
Finally, he shows up at the end. We get one page panel with him, and he's coming in the next issue. I'm excited. This issue for me was a big deal, and we've talked about this before when issue 7 came out, when it was that Einstein deathbed issue.
Yep.
How we got to see a different side of Simon Pure. Like we've seen him originally introduced not in the olden days, and he's like, it was teased in Blizzard, and he's not teased as a bumbling buffoon. Like he's like a savant. He's like the dude to call. You know, he's the one that bagged the monster in the Blizzard, and that's who the founding fathers called again to come get it. He's like, I'm not doing it again. But this gave us, like, we've seen him like very Jack Sparrow-esque, like falling upward. He succeeds, but like tripping over his shoelaces while he does it. And in issue 7, we kind of got a moment in his life that you can see, like, this was an important moment. This is something that shapes him 100 years from now. He'll remember this day like it was yesterday. That's how this one was. The way that he talked, the way that he moved, the way that he interacted with people, it was all based off the feelings he was having for Annie, which we've seen how he is with other women. You know, he enjoys the company of ladies, and he doesn't expect for them to hang around more than a couple of hours. You know, but with Annie, it wasn't like that. He literally felt a draw, felt similarities with him, and like he was smitten, but not like in a goofy way at all. So it was awesome to see another side of Simon and another moment in this character's long life that is one of those moments that will shape him ultimately. So I'm really reading this from that perspective of watching for these different events that really are going to stack together to create the Simon Pure that ultimately will be fighting alongside the Northerner and Junkyard Joe and Geiger, because that redcoat, I don't believe will be a bumbling goober. Right. He's going to be a fully capable, I'm hoping, man of valor. I'm watching this character turn to a man of valor is going to be epic. And the fact that they're slow rolling it and giving us these little moments here and there that really stand out, it's looking like they're stacking it that way. And I really, really hope they do. This is such a cool character. Still my favorite Ghost Machine book. Consistently been that. And this is why. Brian Hitch's art is ridiculous, consistent, clean, crisp, beautiful. Just what a fantastic visual storyteller. Just all on board. And that reminds me, you want to tell people what's coming out Tuesday? Possibly?
Yes. It is finally issue number 2 of Superman, The Last Days of Lex Luthor by Mark Waid and Brian Hitch.
How long has it been since issue 1? Like 6, 8 months? Well, a year?
Only a couple of weeks if you got the second print. But yeah, it's basically, it's been a long time. The issue apparently began way back when DC decided to solicit all 3, the first issue, even though only issue 1 was done. And then the whole Ghost Machine came along, and Brian Hitch, obviously, with Jeff Johns.
That means it's been over a year, Paul. It's legit been over a year.
Yeah, because it was April last year that we did that. And but now, supposedly, DC has said that they did not solicit. They would not solicit 2 and 3 until both of them were finished. So supposedly both of them are now finished. And so we get issue number 2 this week.
Yeah, and I'm really excited for it because it's been not only a while since we got issue 1, it's been a while since we got any of the large format prestige size Black Label books, which I really, really love those. I like sitting there like, dude, what was it? The Dan Jurgens Batman? That was the last one we got, right? God, that was good.
Yep.
That was disgusting. Seeing these next level artists in this oversized format really works.
Do you get any of the distillery stuff? Because that's all they do are the big books.
I don't like them only because they're big.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the only
I don't think the same thing like movies. The bigger the movie, the longer the movie, the more you like it.
The better.
So the bigger the pages, the more I like it.
Yeah. I'm not a big indie guy like that. Even the indie stuff I get is like licensed properties for the most part. I'm a stooge. I'm a simple man with simple tastes. Give me superheroes, robots, RoboCops, Terminators, aliens, The good stuff.
Right.
The good stuff. All right, the last one for tonight is the other Ghost Machine offering from this week. It's Geiger number 12, featuring the first full story of Ash Arden, who is introduced, first appeared in the last issue. We've been on a journey across this destroyed wasteland with Nate the Knight, the trusted two-headed wolf, Zigzag, the three-eyed zebra now, and of course, Tariq Geiger. They've been ultimately trying to find the cure for his condition of like going this radiation buildup that explodes out. You know, he's got the rods that he puts in his back to keep him stable. But there's this rumor that there's another glowing man out there that knows how to control their ability. And if they can find this other glowing man, maybe we can help Geiger. They ultimately made it to the fortress where this person was at. Geiger barely made it alive. And in the process of getting there, cross paths with Junkyard Joe, who's now in tow with them. Junkyard Joe is back in ongoing titles, which is amazing. Perfect. And we get introduced to what we thought was the glowing man is really the glowing woman, a character called Ash, short for Ashley Arden. Mm-hmm. And she tells him, yeah, I can control it. I don't need the rods to do it. I was taught how to do it. We find out in this issue that she was trained and taught by the same gentleman, Dr. Molotov, that Geiger was with in Volume 1, who we thought he left Geiger's side when Geiger was like kind of being too violent for his taste. Ash said that he trained me up. Unfortunately, he was killed by these hill people in the next town over. As a matter of fact, let's go pay him a visit. So her and Geiger go over there. They meet face to face with him. They pull the rods out and they go ham. Ultimately, we see what's happening. And Geiger, at this volatile state in his life, he pulls those rods out and he immediately starts meltdown mode. It's like Godzilla where he's overcharged and he just kind of explodes, dusts everybody. And we see Ashley is drawing in all that energy. It's like, I can help you. I'll absorb it. I'll hold it for you. Ultimately, going back to their base and Ashley going to her room, then going downstairs to this little jail cell where she has Dr. Molotov chained up. So apparently she's not a good guy. Looks like she's trying to siphon power from people. And for whatever reason, she doesn't want to let Dr. Molotov go. He's super valuable, according to the Who's Who's page, as he's the world's leading expert in anything nuclear. He's partly responsible for the bombs falling the day of the unknown war. And it was a super packed issue. A lot of good stuff in there. A lot of good stuff. It will be titled The Ultimate Showdown. Valiant and Dynamite. Yep. But yeah, I loved it. Love this issue.
I'm waiting for the unknown war. Or the unnamed war.
Yeah. The unnamed
war. No, it's the unnamed war. Unnamed.
The unnamed war. That was the unknown war, and the characters that came out of it were the unnamed.
Yeah.
It gets confusing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. We got some more titles coming soon. Ghost Machine announced that they have the next Hyde Street spinoff. You know, we did the one-shot spinoff called Devour by Maytal Zirk. Now Maytal Zirk is doing Sisterhood, which is going to be a short miniseries. It's not going to be a one-off. I think it's like 2 or 3 issues. And yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. And then we have Brad Meltzer's coming. That's huge. Yeah, that's huge. First Ghost is coming fast.
What?
Good God. But yeah, it was an amazing week for comics. Huge week coming up. I hope everybody gets a chance to get out to their stores. Be sure to make sure that notification bell is on. Paul, myself, and DJ Links have the Bry's Comic Pack Battle will go public tomorrow. You can always hit that channel membership button and join the channel membership and get access to those videos early. And I guess tomorrow I'll switch the CGC unboxing video onto members only. It won't be till the following week that it goes public, but I unboxed the CGC book that'll be in the Legion loot this month. Got a good one. I'm going to show off some of the other books that'll be in there as well. Got some good stuff this month for the Legion loot. Sounds like season 1 of Found, keeping Guy locked in basement. Yeah, I don't know why basements are so popular. Luckily, we don't have them here. They don't do basements in this town, I guess. I don't know why. But that's going to do it for tonight. Paul, you got anything else? We're a little bit past 10 o'clock. It's definitely bedtime.
No, don't forget, besides tomorrow morning at 10, Thursday night at 8:30, Mark and I will be talking to Jeremy Adams over on my channel. Don't forget.
Yeah, make sure y'all hit the description button and subscribe to Paul's channel real quick if you haven't done it already. Got a lot of cool stuff we do over there. Every Monday is the DC Comics Deep Dive. Every other Wednesday we do the live show Guess That Key, where you can win all kinds of cool books weekly. And the Deep Dive live primetime show will be this week. And who knows when we'll do the next one. Those are super random. Me and Paul don't really set out to do a lot of creator interviews. But when we do it big. Ghost Machine team, the Miranda brothers, Jeremy Adams. So make sure you swing by. Don't miss out on that. That's going to do it for tonight. Oh, well, appreciate that. Hit the thumbs up. Severance. I've gotten caught up on Severance. It's fantastic. Paul hasn't watched it yet. The goal is to get all caught up on that so we can just talk like a bunch of chickens with their head cut off theorizing about that show, because that show is amazing. If y'all haven't watched Severance on Apple, go watch Severance, because that'll definitely be getting talked about in the coming weeks when we're all on the same page with that. I was late to it. Paul hasn't started it yet. There's a lot to keep up with out there, and I didn't realize it was so good. But I appreciate everybody coming in, hanging out. Until next time, as always, he's Paul. I'm Mark, but we are Legion.